Hey there.
Hey there.
Welcome to Safing Live. After being off
Last time.
2 weeks ago. Thanks for everybody who was liking the post that I did, reminding everybody that we're off. We announced it also, of course, in the last live stream, but I'm glad to be back. So just checking quickly if everything works. Everything should work. It's supposed to work. We have, as usual, Discord and YouTube open. We also got already a question from Futile
Recipe?
Exactly, thank you. We will hopefully get to that later, but we have some main topic today.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the 1.1 release, which happened yesterday. Finally, yeah. I today realized a little something, but we get into that later. And then talk about the rest of the summer and some changes you can expect, some updates, and yeah, all the good stuff.
Exciting stuff.
Welcome, Daniel. I don't know if I welcomed you. You already said a couple of things, but I sort of did an extended
I
intro.
always feel welcome. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. Do you want to add something to the roadmap for today, or should we jump right in?
No, I think we're good. We already teased a lot of fancy new stuff, so we can just jump right in.
Okay. So then, may I quickly say what I realized today?
Yeah, sure.
I realized today that Portmaster v1.0 happened in October last year.
Wow.
It is July. So it's almost three quarters later.
You mean you took less than a year? That's really good.
If we would have released 2.0, I would agree. But we released 1.1.
Yeah, it seems like there wasn't a lot of progress, but we had a lot of 1.0.x releases.
Yeah.
So,
no, absolutely.
I don't know like how far up we went, but we were like in the high 10s. I think.
Yeah. And a lot of stuff happened. No. I'm not saying nothing happened, but
we just never had this. Oh, this is a new thing.
Yeah.
So we bump it up again. So it's just a lot of fixing, a lot of improvement.
Yeah. Under the hood.
A lot of stuff in the SPN,
Yeah.
and the SPN versions only somehow flow into the main Portmaster version because we have different versions there. If you run a community node, you know your community node has a different version, which is the SPN version, which is kind of just updated as a dependency in Portmaster. So a lot of stuff happened in the SPN.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we had a lot of chumps there actually.
Yeah, and I like that the people like on the Discord usually agree and are like, well, take your time, because we said we're gonna release it last week, but we have this policy we try to stick to, not releasing on Fridays, and it would have fit in on Friday, not sure though. And we wanted to do a couple of fixes first, as well, which happened on Tuesday. So 1.1, their response has been good, I'd say. It's everything seems working. This is always the best. If I would see an avalanche of new support requests, I'm like, something is wrong. But it has been in beta for a month.
I think
so. And it has had a couple of changes under the hood as well. So the big one, of course, was the new map. So as you have been saying, like the last half year has been a lot of SPN. And actually the map thing was something we were considering putting into the 1.0 release. So this has been cooking for quite some time now.
Yeah, the concept was there for quite some time now, but
We've now finally pushed it. We're so happy that we did. It gives you a much greater overview and you can read the blog post, of course, as well, but a much greater overview with all the lighter countries. So those are all countries where there is at least one SPN node in there, and the darker ones are all the ones where we currently don't have any SPN nodes. And you can easily distinguish between community nodes and safing nodes. The triangle ones are the safing ones, the circle ones are the community nodes. If you use them, they change color. So blue for ours and green for the community.
Colored.
They become colored. They're
and also with
light. in advance.
What's really cool is that you can see like if we verified a node operator or a node, and you can see like who runs it. So that we're trying to get the community more into this and helping that by verifying them. And there will be a guide on that shortly, how that works and how you can do that too. But kind of to raise trust in community nodes and have people stand up for the community and help out. So that's really cool. And so there's something coming there too in the coming weeks.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening.
That's true.
I'd say read the blog post. A couple of teasers I gave in there as well, but it's just mainly if you're an SPN subscriber, thank you. But for you, there's a lot to explore. You can see a lot more info about the nodes themselves, go into countries, see all the nodes in that country, and then go into details. And for the first time, I think you see very easily the bandwidth between the nodes. So when we're saying like it's 300 mbits at least that we're targeting, you will see that the nodes have multiple 300 megabits connections to other nodes. So the bandwidth through them, your Portmaster locally knows this, and it would pick a route accordingly. They have more and they have slower ones as well, just to have compatibility and the connection so that the network has it, but your Portmaster picks a faster one. Maybe in there a little teaser as well, if you're interested in running a community node, we're thinking of introducing sort of like guidelines. If your node has no 300 plus mbit connection to any other node in the network, we would consider this a dead node, I guess. And I'm not sure how we will deal with it.
Well,
but
we're not gonna like do immediate actions on them, but Portmaster from the internet rating system will not really use it. Because
it's too slow.
If there's a couple users on it, it might be just overwhelmed too fast. And we ourselves killed a couple nodes that we hosted because they were just too slow. And it just doesn't make sense to use them.
But if you're curious, if you browse around and stuff like that, those are sort of the criteria. Of course, everything you see is what your Portmaster knows locally, and it's propagated throughout the network. So cool stuff to figure out, cool stuff to look at, and it has been fun for me to go into the network like that and look at it. But the title for today's show is like Summer Roadmap. Do you want to sort of like, I started off with saying, well, we took our time for 1.1, but the the teaser is like 1.2 and 1.3. What is happening with them? What are our plans for the near future?
From a technical point of view.
From our plans. What is the roadmap? Like just
So 1.1 is out now. 1.2 is already almost finished. 1.2 will include really good improvements for process detection. We regularly have reports that things get slow, or like if you have loads of connections, or in some circumstances Portmaster doesn't correctly detect connections. So on both Linux and Windows, we now are finalizing work on getting better information from the system. So the kernel itself gives us more information about the connections, so we can classify them and attribute them to a process a lot quicker. So I'm really excited for that because I will increase speed and stability, will reduce CPU usage. So really nice that we're working on this, and also this will kind of sets the basis for future features to also go into VM support better, which we still do not officially support, but we want to, and that's something we're exploring for the midterm future. So version 1.2, massive improvements.
When can we expect it?
Process detection. It's going to be going to beta next week, probably. So that's the idea there. And Portmaster version 1.3 will have something absolutely amazing.
No, but you say next week. Will it stay in beta for half a year as well?
No, it will stay in beta for probably a week.
Maybe two. So the release will probably be July for 1.2.
Yeah, it shouldn't break anything. If it fails, it'll just fail silently and fall back to the current system. So it'll work in hybrid mode whenever the new system doesn't work for some reason, or also sometimes it just doesn't work in all cases. But in 99% of cases, it's really fast, and then for the some that don't work, it just falls back to the previous system, which is slow but reliable. I
just wanted to bring this out because we're like, from a time perspective, the summer roadmap is to get 1.2 out maybe within the month, maybe beginning next month, something like that. And now you're jumping into 1.3, so we're already planning for the next one afterwards.
We're getting a lot of speed right now.
I know, but I wanted to make sure that we land this as well. So 1.3, you wanted to get into there as well. What are your thoughts about 1.3? What are you excited about there? What can the people look forward to? When can they look forward to it?
I think this is like one of the most vital features after v1.
Update, you mean?
Update.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a feature that makes Portmaster so much more potent, so much more powerful, and it is the network history. So with version 1.3, you will be able to record a permanent record, only local, not shared anywhere else, a local history of network connections. You can of course exclude applications, you can scrap your history, all that stuff. Of course, you will be within full control on what you want to record and what not. But it will be amazing to get even more insights into applications, because right now you have a live view, which is the last 10 minutes, which is great for just fixing things, just blocking,
configuring your
blocking
firewall.
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, configuring a firewall. But
and Portmaster.
The
allow, block, whatever.
Exactly, the network history will allow you to
go deeper
and find out a lot better what exactly are the applications doing that you have installed, when do they do it, how often do they contact something. You can really see what they're up to. So that's really exciting. Looking forward a lot to that.
And so, preparations for that have started, just so you know, like
a long time ago.
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
So
for those
remember
people,
last summer,
I guess,
that kind of was one of the big version 1 things. The new network where we switched improved network monitor
in general
view in general.
Yeah.
That was
the beginning
of the network history, because we had to rebuild the whole basis on how these connections are managed and how we can query them. So now we can actually be here now. So work on this has started over a year ago, and now we're almost there. And 1.3 is gonna be amazing.
But it's cool. Like I feel like summer typically has been, also when you look at our GitHub stars, you always see the summer slow. So we don't expect too many new users coming in now. But for everybody who then comes back in autumn or is new in autumn, they will see these new features, and we hope that excites them and we can test them in a little bit of a slower period during the summer and sort of like get them out. So I'm excited that we can do this during summer and get this out now and sort of like finally push one after the other. Great. No, cool roadmap. Very cool. So we're jumping.
And that's just the start. There's more to come. But I don't know how far you want to go today. But
absolutely. No, I think
maybe we'll tease some more later.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But from our perspective, it's just like we have been like a little bit slow in pushing, as you said, like major updates, like dot something updates. this like that we have built up all this like backlog of stuff that we are now able to release and with more confidence because we took the time to fix bugs, to fix issues, to improve stuff. And I think we're still
groundwork.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're still on the cautious side to a certain degree, not releasing stuff when we don't feel confident, keeping it as it is because like, I think the support requests have slowed down a bit. There are phases where I get tons, and when I come back from the weekend and it's 30 support emails or something like that. And I think it has slowed down a bit for the better. I feel like the Discord numbers there, because those are the statistics that we all have. Discord numbers are going up, support requests are going down. Maybe it's the Discord community which is helping so much. So thank you and shout out to all of those great people.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? It feels like Portmaster is growing. And at the same time, the issues are not growing that fast. On GitHub, you see the same thing and stuff like that. So from our perspective, I feel very good where we are and where we're going. But I'm also so excited that we finally can push the .1, .2, .3 updates with so many cool features and stuff. So yeah, love it. And I hope you will love it too. You're smiling.
Yeah, I just thought about pushing because one thing we do regularly is release a new version of the QAP database.
Yeah,
but we haven't done that for some time because it is just so big, and so I think it will easily cost us 10-15 terabytes of transfer data. But we'll release a new one soon. Just thinking about like all the update traffic because you mentioned stuff there.
Did I mention that last time? I don't know.
I don't think so. Like a couple times.
No,
we talked about it recently on the live stream.
Okay. For those who haven't seen it, we are when we push an update, like on Portmaster, and you all grab it, we see terabytes worth of data. Getting pulled.
I think we're about between 50 and 70 terabytes per month of data that we push out updates.
Yeah. Just from a scale perspective. And we don't, as I keep on saying, Portmaster, because I have been asked this, great, maybe I address this quickly here. We have been asked about somebody who thought that Portmaster is pushing metrics. It's not. There is a metric setting, but you have to put in an URL in there, and then your Portmaster pushes to that URL, and I think it says so. It pushes Prometheus metrics. We do this internally so that we have stuff.
For testing and also
But
so you can use it for yourself and get some nice fancy stats out of there.
You can
if you want to.
Exactly.
So, but it's nothing that is used kind of on
and it's not even opt-in
production thing. Yeah,
exactly. It's not even opt-in. It's not even because we don't share our URL. We don't have it in there. It's not even opt-in. It's so far apart. You can put your statistics and stuff about your Portmaster installations wherever you want. You do you, and I think that's what we're all about. And of course, if you don't know what Prometheus is, if you don't read what the setting actually says, it sounds a little bit scary. So I've been thinking maybe we should put it into the developer view.
We're gonna bury it more.
That's a reality.
It
is for those people who are watching, and for those people on the Discord.
All the
I feel
people who want to use it, they find it anyway on the wiki or somewhere else.
Exactly. And those who stumble over stuff and are scared by things they don't understand. This is what I'm scared about. I'm scared about the people who are scared because they don't understand. But we'll see. Great. Okay. You've been smiling a bit as well. I think we took the opportunity away, but I still want to talk about it.
Took the opportunity away.
Now, for those people, maybe if you watch this live stream and within the next week or so, you can contact me via just support@safing.io. We are, for those new features we talked about, like the basic, the history, network history, and the process detection is for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a basic firewall feature.
Yeah.
But the next big, the history module, we will put it into the Portmaster support plan, which we will rename into Portmaster Plus. We have thought about this for quite some time. And I said the support requests have been going down a bit, but they have been going up overall over the years. And a lot of people are asking for new features and for new stuff, and are in the free tier, which I feel like is okay. We gave Portmaster away in the free tier because privacy is important.
And we want to give people protection.
Yeah,
we really
absolutely.
want to. That is the core of SafeLink, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Yeah. Nobody forced us to give away Portmaster for free.
Yeah.
We do this because we really believe that it's important to have privacy out there. But we sort of like have to pay we have to pay our bills as well. And so we decided for those not strictly privacy related features, we will put them behind a paywall. We feel that is fair. And we might, in the future, I think we talked about this in the past as well, that early access to features is what it was called up until now.
Yeah.
The reasoning being, or the thing there being, that those features who are paid now might get into the free version later on as well. We have no plans on actually doing this at any point. This is not something where we say we are going to do this within a year. But it might happen.
It might happen, yeah. It might happen, but right now...
we have not. We cannot say
when this will happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And it won't happen. For that, we might push down features earlier than others. We don't know yet. It also depends if we see that something is very necessary for privacy. Maybe this will accelerate that. But sort of our thinking is, the free tier is for privacy and for everybody to get it as fast as possible. The plus tier will be for everybody who has more needs. It's privacy plus basically. And then the unlimited tier, or what we might call pro tier in the future, not sure there, will be for SPN access. We understand and we see that many of our users either don't understand what the SPN brings in addition, or don't care, and we understand and we also understand that it's expensive. We understand that as well.
And it is a complex technology.
It is complex.
At some point, there's the message doesn't get across for some point, or the product doesn't fit enough users. We don't know exactly. It's really hard to tell. So what we've been seeing is that we see growth in Portmaster users, but what we expected is to see kind of the same
growth in
growth
SPNs
kind of in the SPN. But we don't. So our initial plan was to just be okay, the SPN, that's the one that people understand that we need to run servers, so we'll just monetize that. People will pay us, and that'll be enough money to subsidize Portmaster, and just have that free for everyone. But
with them growing so disproportional,
it isn't working out.
The cost for Portmaster is increasing much faster than the revenue for the SPN. So this is basically sort of part of the reasoning as well why we're doing it. We also feel like this makes sense, and it's only the fair thing to have this in between there, where we say privacy is important, privacy will be free.
But if you want to poke around, you can buy Portmaster Plus, which is now supporter, and it'll just let you poke around more, get more information. But the protection itself will be free. So protection is free, poking around is plus. And then protecting connections via SPN is pro.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the grand
overall
scheme.
Exactly. And we want to invite everybody who's watching and watching maybe later on as well. Jump on the Discord and let us know your thoughts.
Definitely. We'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah.
And so We don't want to just do stupid decisions and be like, that's the way. We've seen that recently, and with other companies, didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
We really want to take you with us on this journey, and we want you to, when you hear from you, what you think about our plans, and hear your suggestions and ideas and your critique about what you think is good and what is bad about them.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, we want to bring you privacy.
Yeah.
And if you can tell us what is valuable to you, that helps us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I also wanted to add in regards to pricing, that's not set in stone either. We raised the price for the support tier now to 40 euros per year, and there's no monthly option. 4 euros or 3 euros per month, what it currently was intended as sort of like for those people who asked us how can they donate to us, and we said we don't accept, donations are hard for us as a company to sort of get, just pay us. But with the transaction fees and everything, 3 euros per month was basically 1 year, 3 euros you pay was 1 euro in our pocket, which for then sometimes people asking 10 questions via mail, costing hours of my time or somebody else's, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. So it does not scale. So we sort of said, well, this is only a yearly option. And we sort of see this as well. I hate that I sort of compare us now, and when I looked at pricing, I compared against Glasswire, because they are not a privacy company and they're closed source, and there are so many things why I would not want to compare us to them. But I sort of for getting an idea about where prices should land and where they should be for a starting point, this is where I looked at them. And this is how I said, well, 40 is a little bit below what they have. But I feel like our mission is more to sort of give you the service, and we want to stay as affordable as we can. And it's not to make tons of money. This is also why we're not gating stuff like this, and not removing stuff. I heard that Glasswire did that in the past and stuff like that. This is
moved free features on the table.
I think maybe they did not. Let me know. We already had stuff in the past where people corrected me. Please let me know. I love to do a clarification if I was wrong. But yeah, from our perspective, we wanted to keep it as affordable as possible. But if you have feedback in regards to price, let us know as well. 40 is what it is right now. So if you sign up for Supporter now, you will see that there's not a monthly option. It's only a yearly option, and it's 40 euros. And you will get all the stuff in there, like the history, the network history when it comes, and the other stuff, which we did not disclose yet.
But now we can.
Yeah, you can
tease a little more.
Tease one or two more things.
Okay.
Which one do you want to tease first?
So next up, let me check.
1.3.
We had 1.4 is 1.4 will be just kind of a dashboard, which kind of will help you navigate the new plans and the features better. And then 1.5 will be something a lot of people ask for some time now, is bandwidth visibility. So you'll be able to see how much data each connection transferred in and out. Yeah. And
not this summer. I just wanted to clarify. We're now beyond the summer.
Yeah, this is beyond summer.
Yeah. But autumn, maybe this year. Yeah. Autumn, winter.
Probably this year.
I'm a bit
more optimistic. Probably this year, because some work on this has already started too.
Yeah.
And so that will be really cool. So you will be able to see bandwidth per connection. We don't know yet how this will look in the UI. We just started the technical part of this, just collecting the data, looking into how this works. And what hasn't started all yet on that part is that how can we display that data in the UI? Where does it make sense? How to display it? How can you query for it? So all these questions are still unanswered, but there is progress on that front, and version 1.5 will have that in a first version. So of course that would be just the first thing here to look at. We don't know what exactly you'll be able to see, but definitely you'll just see at the connections directly how much we will be able to provide graphs and stuff like that. We will see. We don't know yet about that. Yeah, so that's coming there. And after that, something I'm excited about, like really excited about, because it directly builds upon the network history, and we'll be able to do something that is like really valuable, really cool, not only from a privacy perspective, but also a lot from a security perspective. Yeah. So with the network history, using that, going back, we can create amazing privacy reports that look at usage from apps and what happened over time on your device, and we'll be able to tell you important things. So classics are, of course, which new applications did Portmaster see for the first time last week, which domains popped up, which domains had the most errors. That, for example, is a common thing to look when you're looking for malware, or something like what were the domains that were most often contacted, and stuff like that. So there are lots of things we can use the network history for to give you insights into the security of your device, but also into your privacy journey.
Yeah.
So we can start looking at like how much are you using like big tech services, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so that's just
like
now this is just ideas now. So
yeah.
maybe just kind of helping you in a privacy journey, calculating some sort of privacy score,
yeah.
kind of to help you to improve, and then give you tips. What would the next step be? How can you improve your privacy, and things like that. So yeah, a lot of ideas how we can use the data. Also, if you have ideas, what would you love to have in a privacy report?
Let us know.
Let us know. We'd love to hear. And this is something we're in the concept phase right now. Yeah. So we're just thinking about it. The prerequisite, the network history isn't out yet, so we can't even start working on it. We're just thinking about it, having ideas, and we'd love to chat with you about it.
Sure. Yeah. Go on the Discord, let us know there, or like just straight up in the comments below. Also, just as a quick thing there, we are also considering doing a light report for the free users as well. It's not something, because you're saying like the history module, and yes, it will be much better with it, but everything of course will be created locally, but we want to have something like that for the free users as well.
We might be able to do,
we'll see,
a small part of it without the network history module. So that be something that we're considering also giving the free users, so they have kind of the light report, and then the.
Just want to make sure that you understand. We're not just thinking about features for Portmaster Plus and Pro. We're also thinking about what part of it makes the most sense for our Portmaster community, like free users and stuff like that, where like we want to be as broad as possible and to include everybody. And so this just wanted to make this sure, because you're right. We're already into that so deep. Great. Okay. No, cool. Yeah, no. So this is sort of like the roadmap. I know we used to have a more public roadmap. We're sort of like dialed that back because it was a lot of work to maintain it. I feel like the live chat will still be the best option. Like if you join us for Safety Live, this will be the best option to sort of like get a feel for it also in the future. So if you come back in 2 weeks, we will. You can ask for the roadmap. We do have one. It's not that we don't have one. It's just sharing it publicly is a lot of work, and so we.
Because it just gets outdated quickly, because we have to adapt to things that happen and change plans, and if there's something public online, it always needs to be up to date. Also, kind of we set very wrong expectations, and sharing things in live stream is very clear. This is live. This is state today. and might not be accurate in a month. So,
you're leaning back to your desk and looking at
yeah,
what you
so
wrote down. Exactly. So very live, very like natural, and when we feel like sharing here is easier. So if you want to stay up to date in regards to roadmap and stuff, join us for the upcoming live streams as well. I want to go into the
question.
Yeah, let's start with the question we got specifically for this live stream. So please go ahead if you could read it, so that people who are, it's on from Discord.
So yeah, from Discord.
Link is below, so you can.
Futel Recipe asked, any plans to register Portmaster or even the SPN as a network interface? It will make having apps use Portmaster much easier. So we're covered on the Portmaster side, which redirects all apps, but we can also tell some apps to use Portmaster just in case. So we've thought about using a VPN. That's what it is in like kind of using a network interface. So yeah. What Fuel Recipe is asking, why not register a network interface, a virtual one, on your device, and then telling the OS that this is the internet, which means that it will send all data to that network interface. So that's another option how we can look at and capture traffic.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we need to do on Android. So we actually have the technical basis for that now, but there are a couple issues with that on desktop. For one, for this to work, the routing must be working correctly. And routing is difficult and very specific. Also, there will be always be other routes to local network interfaces. So we'll definitely be missing local traffic and all that stuff. But it's okay to just capture like traffic to the internet. That would work quite well. But also the second thing is, as soon as kind of Portmaster is the kind of the internet for the OS, no one else can claim that role easily, such as your VPN. So that would make Portmaster kind of 100% incompatible with any other VPN, because that is how VPNs work. They register a virtual network interface and be like, I'm the internet, and then everything goes there. But if you have both Portmaster and a VPN being, I'm the internet, then it's gonna be really fun who the US actually chooses to put the traffic to. And of course, Portmaster could like do some trickery again, and then like kind of redirect things and do like routing tricks and stuff like that. But that's just such a can of worms that I don't feel is worth going through. So how things are right now is that Portmaster is part of the Windows firewall. So it kind of integrates into that kernel, so kind of core OS interface. And Portmaster is kind of on the same level as Windows firewall and can veto decisions from the Windows firewall. And there we see everything. We get a lot of good data from them, and we always see everything. And there's no like configuration that need to be correct, like routing or something. And it's just a lot cleaner and nicer interface. Of course, the only downside is for integrating the SPN, the Portmaster has to redirect for the technical point of view, kind of destination NAT connections to itself, so it can accept the connection and then route that through the SPN. So a hybrid system could be that the Portmaster actually does register a virtual network interface just for the SPN connections, and then instead of doing a DNAT to itself, Portmaster can tell Windows that this connection should take another route, and that would go through Portmaster's virtual interface, and then that can go through the SPN. And that would actually be a nice solution, because it would solve some things that we're having issues with right now with the SPN. But it is, again, a lot of work to get this working, and it might be an option for the future, but not near term and probably not midterm.
Yeah. Do you want to quickly address why? Because I hear this a lot, like with people are saying, well, the kernel extension, what if it breaks down? What if it, like, people want to double and triple and quadruple, like, protect everything and put duct tape on duct tape on duct tape. Like, and this feels like a similar thing. And I'm not to say that this is a bad approach always, but I'm sort of like feeling like privacy in general lends itself, and I've been down that road a couple of times as well, and I think I talked about this on the beach bar as well, like that we sometimes do things because they feel like they increase our privacy because they are hard, and when you think about it for some time, you actually realize it's not actually improving anything, it's just making your life more difficult. Would you say in that regard, would this actually like improve something as well? You said for the SPN maybe, but for general, like putting Portmaster as a network interface, like in addition to it being in the kernel as well, is this a double security, and does it actually improve it, or is it higher complexity, more prone to failure, and therefore maybe even like creating more edge cases with more issues? Because I understand it, and sometimes, like, and you have to understand everybody, like, it's like sometimes more complexity can create more edge cases, can create more issues, and therefore be more insecure. But defense in depth, of course, is a thing as well. So you want to have like an firewall on your router, you want to have a firewall built into your, or an antivirus built into your system, and then Portmaster's application firewall as well. So 3 layers of defense there. So what are your thoughts? Is this a defense layer in depth sort of thing, or is it more complexity with little benefit at the moment? Not to say that we can not like put it in for some parts maybe later on.
It's a good question. For kind of just the host system, absolutely every packet has to go through the Windows filtering platform where Windows Firewall and Portmaster sit, and there's no way a packet can miss this. So there's, in that case, we catch 100% there, and there's no added benefit of creating a network interface there. When we start going into VMs, this is going to be interesting because a lot of stuff starts becoming virtualized in that space, and I don't remember which technology it was exactly, but I think there is one virtualization technology in Windows that where the VMs actually kind of more like run beside the host instead of on top it, where the network connections go through a virtual switch and bypass the network stack of the host.
Is it subsystem Linux 1? Because the subsystem, the Linux 2, I think is more traditional, but the first one was a little bit weird and janky.
No, subsystem 1 was okay. Subsystem 2 is a normal VM, which normally uses the forward kind of, the traffic is forwarded by the host. That's something Portmaster doesn't look at the moment. That's why it's unsupported. And the reason why VMs are failing currently is because the VM is still using Portmaster as a DNS server. And Portmaster is like, wait a second, this is not the host. And it just blocks connections, for example. Or like there can be issues with DNS mostly. So if you're having issues with the VM, you can install Portmaster there too, or just set another DNS server to fully bypass Portmaster. But back to the issue.
Bypass is not 100%. Portmaster sees it, but it doesn't handle it.
No, it doesn't, because the traffic is forwarded.
It ignores it. You said earlier it ignores it.
Because Portmaster only looks at the host right now.
Exactly.
It doesn't care for traffic that flows through the host.
Exactly. I just wanted to make sure that
it's an application firewall.
Exactly. So this is not a tech. It's a restriction we put in. It's not. It's not something we could not do. And this is the reason why we say VMs are not supported, so that you are aware of it.
Yeah.
But there's a difference in can't we do it or aren't we doing it? And we are not doing it at the moment.
Yeah, it's just
this is a conscious
so much
decision.
Complexity that isn't worth it at the moment.
It's easier for you to install the second Portmaster install inside the VM than it is for us to sort of like sift through all of that and sort of like this has been a decision we made a while back. But yeah, so just wanted to make sure. If we started turning VM support on, is not something where we sort of like it's something where we have to figure stuff out, yes, but it's not that it's undoable or so like whatever. I just wanted to make this clear to set expectations correctly.
So what I was getting at with all this detour is that if Portmaster sets up a virtual network interface, depending on the whole technology stack and soup you're using, it could be that the network connections of the VM are actually bypassing the full host network stack. The host doesn't even see the packet, but it will still honor a virtual network interface because that's the connection to your internet, whatever your internet is. And in a lot of cases, it will be in an enterprise setting, it will be a corporate VPN, which of course Windows is very interested in that working for VMs because else that would break every VM on a Windows machine. So that's one thing I can think of that possibly would create a benefit in creating a VPN interface. But that still has all the other problems with VPNs and stuff like that. So so right now there's no benefit. If we start going down the whole VM support thing, there might be a benefit there. But yeah, things will get very interesting in that regard anyway. That's why we haven't touched it yet.
Yeah, and this is why you haven't heard about it on the roadmap yet. Again, we sort of said it in the past, but the questions regarding it have slowed down again. Stuff always comes in waves. I think I talked about this on the live stream in the past as well. It's funny, like maybe I should write it down somewhere, but I think stuff comes in cycles. I don't want to jinx it, but import-export has not been something people talked about in months at this point. I'm waiting. It will come back. I know this for sure. Maybe it's during Christmas when people get new machines and stuff, like a new laptop.
Could be.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
it hasn't been like for...
Then probably September could be one of these months again.
Oh, yeah, and Black Friday and stuff. Yeah, who knows? October, November. Yeah, November. Who knows? But like import-export has not been a thing. We are thinking about it. We have not forgotten about it. Might come in somewhere in those upcoming releases as well. We will see. But in that regard, it's like VM support has not been an issue for quite some time, or like people have not asked about it. I always recommend that, so I will do it here now. I use GNOME boxes. GNOME boxes work perfectly and well with Portmaster.
That's a Linux thing
That's a Linux thing, exactly. And I use Oracle VM.
Yeah, the VirtualBox.
VirtualBox, exactly. That works well on Linux and on Windows.
Also,
both
VirtualBox.
Open source.
Yeah, VirtualBox really has everything in software.
Yeah.
So everything just shows up as VirtualBox in Portmaster. So that one is actually compatible.
Yeah. So everything will go through Portmaster as well, so you will see it. And everything is beautiful and works. So my recommendation, if you need a VM for testing stuff or to open sensitive download links or something, who knows, VirtualBox or GNOME boxes is a good way to go. Great. Okay, I hope Faulty Recipe, we answered your question. If you have any follow-up questions, please put them in the Discord. We might tackle them in 2 weeks again. Is there something else you want to add?
No, I think next 2 weeks will be a big Q&A session about all the changes to the plans and all the upcoming features. So,
do you think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
it's summer. People are outside, or it's too hot.
Yeah, maybe they're just outside at the pool.
Exactly, chilling.
Yeah, at the beach.
At the beach, yeah. Maybe a sneak peek, because last time somebody wanted to know a personal bit. I've been to Malta the last time when we would have had Saving Life, and you see my skin tone. I'm getting sunburns very quickly, so I achieved 0 sunburns during my time in Malta. It has been a great time, and if you have not been to Malta and live in Europe, lovely island. I actually went to Gozo. It's the smaller one next to Malta proper, and it's quieter. So if you don't enjoy like having party all night long, Gozo is the place to go. If you want to party all night long, Malta, actually great clubs as well. We've been there, but we only visited, and the ferry goes throughout the whole night. So you can stay in Gozo, actually sleep, and go to Malta and don't be able to close an eye.
Yeah, because you say we, I wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't there. Yeah. I was with the group and fun group. Okay, you want to share something as well? You don't have to. I just wanted to quickly get that out. Okay, all is well. Great. Okay then. I think that has been Saving Life.
Yeah, kind of. Let's maybe wrap things up.
Yeah.
Kind of just give an overview. So.
Go ahead.
First, we talked about kind of what's upcoming. So version 1.1 is out with the new SPN map. Version 1.2 will be major improvements for process detection, both in speed and reliability. Yeah. 1.3 is where things get interesting because we're introducing the first Portmaster firewall feature that will be paid. In the supporter plan, as it's called now,
Portmaster Plus.
Portmaster Plus will be called soon. And after that, so history module, network history will be a big thing. And then the next things after that will be bandwidth visibility.
And those all will come in summer. 1.3 will happen summer 2023 as well.
Yeah.
It's very much our goal to...
Yeah, and after that we'll have bandwidth visibility. Yeah. And also privacy reports, which are coming, both of them, bandwidth visibility and privacy reports are coming to the paid plans. Yeah. So Portmaster Supporter Unlimited, as they're called now, and Portmaster Plus and Pro, as they are probably going to be called in the future.
Feedback always welcome.
People, please give us feedback on like
names, pricing,
these plan changes, and our plan how to move forward with saving. And we still we want to give everyone free access to privacy protection as far as we can. And if you want to poke around more, we'll have the Plus plan, and if you want to protect your connections, we'll have the Pro plan for you. So just to wrap up kind of what we've talked about today, that's where we're going to, and we'd love your feedback.
Exactly. Thank you for being with us. Join us in 2 weeks again. If there is a lot of Q&A, that's fine as well. You can always write the questions in earlier, either by commenting below this video or going into the Discord, and there will be a link for the next one, and there's now a proper channel for it also. So go there, ask us anything, and we will gladly reply. That's been Saving Life for these weeks. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Enjoy the summer.
See you in 2 weeks. If you're not at the beach or the pool.